Hey guys, so I just got done watching a movie, and at first, I was like, I don't really think I can review this movie. It's just, it seemed like a bit too serious of a movie for me to review. It didn't really seem like a comedy horror film, or, something that I would usually review. Then I watched it. The film is from 2000. It's produced by Kevin Smith, the man behind Clerks, um, Mallrats, like all that, all those great, fantastic films. Um, and it's produced by him. And this movie stars Brian O'Halloran, the guy who was Dante in, um, the guy who was Dante in Clerks. So this film stars him as a clown who's like really down on his luck. He's not really having he's having a lot of trouble. Bill collectors are bothering him. He's poor. He's just a party clown. And then he decides, hey, I'm gonna be kind of a prank service, to where I'm gonna show up at bachelor parties as like a joke, as the stripper, as like a male stripper clown, and that's kind of funny at first. Then he gets his first customer, which is a man and his two sons who drug and rape him. Now, note, this is 20 minutes into the film, and and starting out, this movie it is kind of dark. It has some dark undertones, and it just goes on. It doesn't really seem like a really dark film like I expected it to be. Then once it reaches that 20-minute mark, it really becomes disturbing, like legitimately disturbing. Um, and then after that, like, I mean, it still is pretty serious for a while, but then once you reach a certain point in the film turns back into like a comedy, like just a straightforward kind of comedy. And then there's more dark undertones, and then it becomes like a comedy exploitation horror film, um, and really, Uh, a reason I figured I'd kind of do one of those just going in blindly, kind of just talking about the film, no notes prepared kind of review, and the reason I want to cover it for this month, Remember November, is because it's not every day you come across a film that is a clown rape and revenge film. Um, I'll be honest, it's not a very easy film to watch, especially once you reach the 20-minute mark. Now, I will admit it is a pretty funny movie, for what you get in the comedy department, but it's not really meant to be a comedy. Even though I watched the trailer before actually watching the movie, and the trailer advertised it as like some kind of dark comedy, or as like some just some really kind of Kevin Smith like comedy, and it kind of is, I guess. Um, yeah. Let's just talk about the film's merits. Acting. Acting is pretty good in this film. Uh, Really, I kind of expected that. Characters. The characters I mean, they aren't fully complex and deep, but they're kind of interesting. Especially our main character, Will, or Flappy, or Vulgar. Um, he goes by like three different names because he has his actual name, his children's clown name, and then his alter ego for like the adult parties, Vulgar. Um, the film is really good. I mean, it's well written, acted. It's genuinely, it's genuinely funny and disturbing at times. It's it's definitely a film that I would say is overlooked. It's not an easy film to watch. I mean, it's it's not in any way, shape, or form easy to watch. I mean, I don't really know what else to talk about. I mean, what there were of special effects in this film was good. Makeup effects, uh, everything was good. And really, it's just a movie that I thought was gonna be something really, really dark. And then I watched the trailer for it, and I'm like, oh, well, it's still probably going to be really dark, considering the subject matter of the film. And it still was pretty dark, but it was also very, very funny. Uh, what else could be said? On the gore meter, it's from 1 to 10, 1 being something like the corpse grinders, and 10 being something like brain dead. Um, Vulgar is probably a 5. I mean, it's not extremely violent, but I mean, the subject matter of the film and the last like 10 or so minutes of the movie are definitely pretty violent. Yeah, it's it's a movie, all right. Honestly, it's a hard film to recommend to anybody because of again the subject matter. But I guess I can say if you can handle the subject matter, if you think you can handle the subject matter, if you're a fan of like exploitation films, stuff like I Spit on Your Grave, revenge films. If you're a fan of horror comedies, I wouldn't necessarily say this is 100% a horror comedy, but I would kind of say it has the horror thrown in there a bit, similar to The Last Circus, how that film is labeled as a drama, but you can tell it's not really a drama film once it reaches a certain point. It stops being a drama film and becomes a horror film. For this film, once it reaches after the first 20 minutes, it becomes a bit of a horror film, and the last like 10 minutes of the film, it becomes a horror film. Um, yeah, but I really thought it was a good film. It's definitely worth watching. 5 out of 5 stars. Anyway, guys, I'm Biscuit Boo 69 signing off. Peace.